And Lisa Miller joins me now from Washington. Lisa, people are just waking up there on the East Coast. What are they seeing in their morning newspapers about today's election?
Well, I think, Lee, the Washington Post probably sums up the feeling across this nation, which is Republicans eye the prizes while Democrats brace for the losses. As you say, the opinion Pew Research 48% to 42%. So certainly no doubt that Republicans are going to win the House. Just by how much? Charlie Cook is one of the most respected analysts here in Washington, and he's suggesting that they could take anywhere between 50 and 60 seats, which, if that happens, that's going into new territory in these modern political times.
Lisa, we unfortunately lost a bit of that answer of yours on air, but I'm sure you'll recap on some of that in your next answer, which I wanted to ask, if, as expected, the Democrats lose control of the House, what will it mean? Tell us more about what it will mean for the second half of the Obama presidency.
Well, he's going to face roadblocks. Charlie Cook, the respected analyst here in Washington, is saying between 50 and 60 seats could go to the Democrats. That pushes everyone into new times in these modern political times. So Barack Obama, while he managed to get through his financial reform, his healthcare reform in his first term, if he's facing a massive swing to the Republicans, they're likely to end up on Capitol Hill feeling rightly fairly cocky, and they may be in no mood to negotiate, no mood to compromise. So he's going to find himself having to deal with an even more prickly Congress, and any dreams of perhaps getting through climate control, which is what climate legislation, which is what he had also hoped to do and promised in his presidential campaign, may be pipe dreams.
But if the Republicans end up in that position, presumably it will also be a little bit of a test of them, and in particular this Tea Party movement that's sprung up since Barack Obama's election.
Well, the Republicans are worried about the influence that the Tea Party wield. 138 House candidates claimed that they had support from the Tea Party. There's been some very high-profile Tea Party candidates, especially in Nevada and in Kentucky with Rand Paul, so their success will be closely watched today. But depending how many of them end up in Congress and how big this congressional Tea Party caucus becomes, they could end up exerting quite a lot of power. 2010 will be remembered for the year that the Tea Party claimed centre stage, so the results of today's election will determine whether that's going to be slightly more permanent or and just what kind of power they want to influence. They've been very clear that they want to abide by the Constitution, they want government to be smaller, they want taxes to be smaller. So the Republicans could end up struggling, having to deal with the factions of the Tea Party while also trying to exert their own power over a diminished White House.
And presumably once all the dust settles on this, about 5 minutes later, everyone will be focused on the 2012 presidential race.
Oh, it feels like you're in a permanent election cycle over here. And already there has been an opinion poll wondering whether Barack Obama should be challenged at the Democratic primary. So whether not only he makes it to a second term as president, but in fact whether he should be challenged on the way through. And of course there's been a lot of speculation about Hillary Clinton, who's about to arrive in Australia, and whether she should be moved into the vice presidential spot, Joe Biden should be moved out, or whether perhaps she should be running herself. And of course the Tea Party success will also have an impact on Sarah Palin's chances, and whether there's more discussion about whether she should be the Republican candidate, because she's a self-proclaimed godmother of the Tea Party. So if they do well, she will have even more right to say that she should be the anointed one come 2012.
Lisa Miller, thank you for getting up early. Always good to have you.
Thanks.